regarding Tua, what do you know he is capable of doing better than he's done in the first few games?
I mean, the 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 game of a franchise quarterback is never just still. So there's a ton of things based on my experience with him. I know where he's at. I know the challenges that have been in front of him. And yeah, we talk about each and every play through a vision that's highly communicated. So, I think the all things, throwing the football, he's capable of, and there's opportunities that he needs to take advantage of. There's also a ton of opportunities to turn the ball over that he hasn't taken. He's really answered the bell, for 99% of the time as a quarterback, especially in games where turnovers are 0-0. You can get substantially better by not having one play. So there's a lot of things. It's not an easy task to be in his shoes, but I'm very happy where his mind is at and where his focus is at, because if he was a weaker-minded individual, it's tough for any quarterback during any losing streak or any whatever. But he's focused on being 1-0 against the New York Jets, and that's why I know he's capable, and I'm excited to see his next opportunity that we work on all week because of just that, of being focused on the right things.
Mike, with you guys get kind of a mini bye during this week, and most teams use those as an opportunity to self-scout, self-evaluate. I'm sure you did that. The running theory amongst this fan base is that teams have figured out your defense, your offense, even though your offense is something that goes back to Steve Walsh. What is your response to that? Is it the nuances of the offense that supposedly teams are starting to adjust to?
No, I think you're basing, one would base that on, I think the most obvious thing is explosive plays and just yardage totals, and there's been a process of development within our offense to solve problems that's not new to this offense. It's more about finding specifically how and what to focus on, how to articulate it, and then how to you have to work pretty hard. You have to be good in short yardage. You have to threaten people with the run, and you start to give different coverages, and then things open up. And I think you have to walk before you run, and we've been able to kind of work through having some explosive run plays versus two-man and shell defense, and being able to get some first downs on the ground to where you should have that feel of what people are kind of alluding to. I think there's portions of that's the cool thing about football. That's maybe I'm just sick and twisted, but you can be better at certain things, but not have near the results. And in ways, we're better at certain things than the old offense that you're talking about. That's the same offense, just there's different players, different state of evolution. So, I think people say a lot of things, correlation, causation, irrelevant. People say a lot of things when the results aren't there, and you're finding reasons why the results aren't there, and it's not wrong, right, or whatever. That's what it's going to be. You'll have a different opinion from the masses if your results are different, which is what the masses that want the Dolphins offense to be a certain way are really just wanting winning football, and that's connected to three phases and everyone getting better, protecting the ball, and when we get the opportunities to have explosive plays, we need to take advantage of them and push the ball down the field, and that's how we play offense from the beginning. And you'll change that narrative with success and execution of assignments. I'm confident in.
Mike, Patrick Paul has had a tough job on a couple of levels. He's replacing Teron Armstead, maybe the best offensive lineman, definitely one of the top players, and he's facing a lot of top edge rushers. How has he done overall and specifically in those two regards?
Well, it's my first question about him. So as an offensive lineman, it's probably positive. If we're not talking about an official, he's probably doing a solid job, right? Offensive linemen kind of have the same experience. But, I think Patrick had as good of off season, has developed as much as any player that I've really been around, and he has a serious. It's like in high school or college, how different freshman year is from sophomore year. In the truest sense, as a player, he's that way, and within that, he's found appropriate expectations, so that he doesn't make himself worse when there's a play that he doesn't like. That's been a big climb for him, and I really think that we've just scratched the surface. I think he feels the same way, but I've been happy that he's displayed the endless amounts of work that he's put in on tape. You can there's a lot of times he's able to keep a pass rusher pretty far away from the launch point. And there was him and Jonah had a major displacing double team on the first drive of the last game, which is what you want to see out of your sophomore and freshman duos, to move some people so Ollie Gordon can score a touchdown. And then he has plays that he knows that by the end of the season, those will be his worst plays, and that's where he's at. Very reasonable expectation, very high expectations, but very reasonable in how you get there, which is it's a journey. That's a marathon, not a sprint.
I was asking some of that the other day about how the young guys have handled the first 3 weeks of the season, the adversity and just dealing with even the short week. They said they thought they'd been handling it well. I'm just curious your thoughts on Kenneth Grant specifically, how he's handled, his first month really of the NFL and how he's looked out there.
Well, he's as a person and a player, he has very high expectations, and it means a lot to him to be counted on by his teammates. And he's done a really good job understanding that as a rookie, he is being depended upon in a way that you can basically, with some of our young guys are trying to do right so much that you can get a little robotic, and working through that and still finding ways to strain and get to the ball. He's been a hair away from several PBUs too, while pressing the pocket. So I think I've been very happy with how he's continued to. Each game it feels a little less big for him, and the bottom line is he knows that we all count on him to really press the pocket and be active in the run game, and he's finding more ways to do it each and every game, which is what you want to see. So I'm very happy with where he's at. However, not satisfied like he is. which is what makes football fun when you got guys that are willing and eager to grow their game, which is a necessity in the league.
Mike, what'd you learn about the Jets fighting back to almost snag that one in Tampa last week?
I would think, I guess they are who we thought they were in terms of. I have tremendous respect for AG and the program that he's building over there, and it kind of mirrored. We go back all the way to Cleveland, 2014, and it kind of mirrored what I would expect in terms of there's a standard of effort and intent. So with teams like that, the worst thing you can do is assume that they're left for whatever, because they will punch you right in the mouth. I thought that it kind of matched what I would expect from a program that he was running, and it's that in the National Football League, you are humbled quick if you take your foot off the gas, and they made some people nervous while showing their internal fortitude really in the process.
You've been on the other side of this, but how do you prepare for a quarterback that potentially could be coming out of concussion protocol, if not Tyrod Taylor?
No, I mean you better be prepared to play football against. This much I know. A dude's gonna have a strong arm, and he's gonna have the ability to make yards running the football on pass plays, or he's able to make every player on the defense responsible for a run game, because you have the added player of the zone read element, however you want to cook it. So I think that was they've layered themselves with the appropriate contingency plans. Those two pair up nice and are able to, the offense doesn't necessarily have to adjust around whatever's happening with Justin's health and stuff, and that's an advantage for them for sure, as they are going to have competitors that will utilize multitude of ways to try to beat you.
Like a lot has been expected of this front seven, stopping the run, pressuring the quarterback, forcing turnovers. What is the first thing they need to do to meet their expectations?
I think it's something that we've is on their minds and ever present, and that's playing connected football through their best efforts have been the stuff that we've been really nailing down since day one with alignments, assignments, communication, and then critical points of emphasis of setting the edge and knocking people back, and all of the things that we kind of tried to really emphasize in the off season, that they know realistically what's important, and it's a new group of guys continuing to be a ton more consistent with that group play, and owning your fit of force, even if it means you might get blocked, so that your pursuit can make the play. Those types of things, just the nitty gritty, down in, down out. Realistically, you're just trying to play sound football, and it's all that's been on their minds. So I've been proud of how they have really had resolve when you need resolve. It was a very tough start, but it's all about where you go and how you respond in this league. And we're trying to take a little a little momentum from the way that we finished the game defensively and apply it to a different opponent, because when was that, like a week ago? I can't remember. But it's about the Jets and trying to utilize everything that we focus on to attack them and not be the ones being attacked.
Can you emphasize to the defense as a whole to start forcing turnovers?
Well, you don't just wish them into existence. The thing about takeaways, turnovers, it's a collective. Every defense, every building, every team is talking about it, but you can't just make it happen by one individual. It has to be a relentless approach. That's when the one player out of the 11 has the opportunity to take a shot at the ball, he's got to take that shot, and that shot, or maybe that pass breakup, or maybe that all of these things are connected with one another. So you can take a shot on the ball if force is captured and the ball is turned back to you, so you have the opportunity to make a play on the ball. You have interception opportunities if the pass rush is connected to coverage and each hook player is at the right depth, so the ball has to go high enough into the third zone and the post player can pick it off. You have to have all these things are interrelated, so collectively you keep getting yourself to the ball, you keep straining to bring population to the ball and then make plays on it. And it's at that point it is a mindset. It is that you, as a coach, you just continually talk about it like you're insane, because it is that important, and you find different ways to do things when it doesn't work. You do different meetings, and there's no right or wrong answer except not emphasizing it. And then you have enough guys focused on that, and they generally come in bunches, but there's not one person that gets to take the ball away or create a turnover. There has to be there has to be a pass rush, there has to be a run fit, and there has to be connected football, which is what we're working on today.
Kind of going off of that, we hear from you, we've heard it from I think Tua and some other guys, the importance of process over results. When the result isn't there, what are some things that help keep guys bought into the process and keep guys motivated? Are there like little wins that you point out here and there? Are there small incentives? Like, how does it?
I guess I would answer the question as like, I don't really look. No one's trying to hear, but hey, there's one stat that really matters, particularly when you're any team, but you're trying to get your first win. There's one thing that matters, so no one wants to hear, but hey, that being said, as the head coach, I do have to objectively communicate, the things that are done to the standard, that if everything's done to, that's going to result in wins, nothing else. And there's things that I'm not really just trying to expound upon anything that we've done, because that's not the nature of the conversation. And realistically, in times, any losing streak in the National Football League, or any time you've had a couple losses or whatever, you go a little time because you put so much time during the week, and then you have anytime that's the case, your team is tested because that positive reinforcement isn't there necessarily, for a couple days, a couple weeks, right? So in that, there's no one can really hide if you have the right leadership and the right collection of people. You press forward, you improve while everyone's talking about your past. You have to focus on your present, and you have to continually improve on everything. And there's some things that we've done better, and there's things that we emphasize that because the emphasis, we've got the return on the results. But overall, no one's even really trying to hear too much about it until you're changing your win column. So it's a team sport. Individuals have to apply unified focus, and collectively we have to play complementary football together, and then we can talk about good things.
Last question.
With Darren Waller, is he clearly had his most extensive practice 2 days ago. Is he on an every other day program, or is he full go?
Yeah, we're just trying to be smart. He's going to be working football to the level of how many reps he gets in the practice. That's what we adjust, or just depending on really feedback. You go back and forth between moderation and full participation. After that practice and on Wednesday, and the kind of the situations that we're planning for him, and the we have a very well planned high-low process, so he will do less than he did the other day, but that level is finally through a fine-tooth comb trying to get him all the full speed work at all the plays that he'll be participating in.